Hi, everybody. I am Jill, and I am super excited to show you the Spark Computer Science today. Spark Computer Science is basically our goal today is to provide you with a nice overview of what the computer science, the Spark Computer Science is, along with some of the additional premium tools you'll have access to. My goal today is to hope that you will walk away knowing that now you'll have a way to easily bring access to computer science to all of your students. The content itself is aligned to both the ISTE computer science standards as well as the CSTA standards. So that is helpful, obviously. And what you'll also notice today or learn today is our computer science for Spark is for grades 1 through 12. So depending on where you are in introducing computer science to your school and or district, we have a program for you. It is a very flexible program where it is in the grades 1 through 5. It's pretty much as an introductory level. But as we know with computer science, students come in with all different levels of interest, all different levels of previous understanding. So in the grades 6 through 10 and grades 9 through 12, we have it divided into sections of, we call it easy, medium, and more difficult, really just a level of the intensity of the program itself. I'm going to go through the content in a minute, but as we realize, teachers who may be using the Spark Computer Science may for the first time be using some of those additional premium features that you have access to. Edulastic is such a great flexible tool. You do need the teacher premium subscription in order to access the Spark products. And for that, I thought, let me give a quick overview and then show how that will be helpful when using the Spark Computer Science. So for those who are new to Edulastic Premium, you'll notice this word playlist, and this is how I've accessed my computer science playlist. I'm going to go into further detail in a moment. But what I wanted to show is those premium features when I'm assigning, because depending on if you want to roll this out for different students at different levels, or if you're ready to assign an entire module, those premium features may be helpful. So like anything in Edulastic, my navigation tools are here on the left. I am still, even though things are put in a playlist for me, it's still Edulastic, it's still flexible. You can search for individual questions tied to standards, or you can take the pre-built assessments and still go ahead and assign them. So I'm just going to use this as the example to show some of those additional premium features. So again, if you are used to the Edulastic free version and you've always been curious about those premium features, I'm going to do a quick highlight of those right now. So I've taken an assessment and I'm in the process of assigning. This is where, if you haven't noticed already, you can put students into a student grouping, or you can also assign to specific students. Of course, you're in charge of your open and close policies. When it comes to test behavior, this I thought was also really helpful to know about if you're not familiar already. Usually you're assigning something as a class assessment. If instead you want to assign it, you do have the option of assigning it as a practice assessment. Why would you do that? Perhaps you just want students to use the supplemental material as a practice tool and you don't want it to go into their overall mastery scores. That might be a way to do it. You'll notice again with Edulastic Premium, you have some pretty robust anti or security tools or anti-cheating tools. So again, if you're using this for homework versus a more higher stakes assessment, you have these additional tools to use. But what I wanted to also point out is, again, with Edulastic, you have a few other tools to help you. So if you have some students that you want to be on their self-directed learning path, you can enable them to be able to retake an assessment automatically until they've reached a certain level of mastery. It saves you the time to have to do that manually. It also gives them a little bit more ownership in the learning process. And again, you can choose how they receive the feedback and whatnot. The other thing you can also do, and I'm going to demonstrate this in a minute, is check answer tries per question. What that means is, again, think of how you may be using the product. If you're using it for homework and you want the students to be able to check their answers for understanding, make sure that they're on the right track, you can give them an opportunity to do that. They can check. It's not going to tell them the right answer, but it will tell them if they're incorrect or not. So again, those are just some of the premium features with Edulastic. Now, if you are interested in learning more about the premium features, we have a lot of resources available for you on the Edulastic YouTube channel or the website in terms of our pre-recorded webinars for premium, as well as weekly trainings. So always feel free to reach out if for any reason you need additional support. On top of this, what I also wanted to talk about is the playlist feature. So again, if you're new to Edulastic premium features, this may be something you have not seen before. I'm going to go ahead and click on it because here is where I can also find my content for the Spark Computer Science put together in a playlist feature, which is an easy to use tool where my assessments are created already for me, and they're assigned and they're put together in the modules. Now, I mentioned that it is grades 1 through 12 and that it's varying degrees of difficulty based on grades 6 through 10 or grades 9 through 12. So for today's purposes, I'm going to, again, for navigation, I'm always here on the left. I am pretending I am a 7th grade computer science teacher. Forgive me as I move this up a little bit because I know sometimes it's harder to see. So what I've done is I've brought up, you'll notice here, it says for Spark Computer Science, grades 6 through 10, this is the medium, this is the more difficult, and here is the easier pathway. So if it's brand new to my students and I just want to introduce the computer science modules, perhaps this is where I start. If I have an honors course or some advanced students, perhaps I want to choose some of the different ones. But either way, to look at the actual content before you use it, you can go in here to details. So I'm just going to click on that real quick, take a peek at my notes. And let me bring this back down to size. So what I have going on here is our Spark Computer Science, grades 6 through 10. And you can see I have the modules here. This first module is problem solving process. Second module is computers and problem solving, creating websites. You get the idea. And when I go to click on this and expand it, that's where you will see, again, let me blow this up a little bit for you. I can see my first intro to problem solving assessment. And you'll notice I have student resources. So what Edulastic Computer Science has done for you is it's not only put together the pre-assessments for you or the assessments for you based on the module that you're teaching, it will also provide student resources for you, links to videos, how-to videos, educational videos that can supplement your learning as well, or your teaching, I'm sorry. Like anything in Edulastic, it's easy to preview. So if I preview this, this will give me access to the questions. I am going to show you a little bit more detail, the actual look for the students. But this way you can preview how it looks to the students as well. And the other thing that we talked about is those student resources. So check this out. I can assign the actual resource to the student. And if I click on this, I'm going to play about 1.5 minutes of this. I'm hoping you can hear it.
Hi, I'm Ryan, and I'm the head of software at Zipline. Zipline operates across Africa using drones to make life-saving blood deliveries. We deliver medical products like blood and vaccines to places that otherwise can't be reached. We all deal with different types of problems every day. And one way or another, we come up with solutions. But did you know there's actually a series of steps you can take for solving any problem? It's called the problem-solving process, and it has 4 basic parts.
There you go. So that's the part I wanted to get to. That is a fun, engaging video. Your middle schoolers are going to love it. I loved it. I didn't know anything about this process, and I learned about it today in preparing for today. Again, this was just using a real world example of how you need to follow steps to problem solve. They solve the solution, a problem of how to bring medical supplies to areas of the world that are difficult to get to. What a cool real world concept to introduce to your students and just reinforce the learning, and why is it important to learn these steps for problem solving in general. Learning about computer science can help in so many different ways of our lives. So that's part of what the whole computer science, Spark Science, is here for. It is a way for you to have easy, fun, engaging resources to assign to your students as reinforcement, and also has the pre-built assessments as well. So once I've decided, and again, let me go back here for a moment. Once I've decided which I want to use, and remember, this is for all grades, I can go ahead and use this, and I'm going to show you an example of how I've already assigned some assessments using the playlist feature. So I'm going to go here under my playlist, and all that means is I'm going to choose one that I've already assigned. I know this might look a little wonky. Trust me, once you've done it more than once, you're going to be fine with it. But again, remember how it looked in the beginning. All I wanted to do now is expand. And you can see, remember when I said there may be students you want to assign the entire module to and give them a month to do it or a couple of weeks to do it. You can certainly do that, or you can use it in the traditional way of assigning individual assessments to students. And that's what I've done here. I've assigned this assessment. So again, if I want to remind myself of what the assessment looks like, I can go into preview the test. And I can see that I've assigned it to 3 students. Nobody has submitted it yet. It's still in progress. And again, if you're new to Edulastic, the live classboard is a very powerful part of Edulastic. And if you have already been using Edulastic, you know the power of this tool. This is where you can see in real time how your students are engaging with the assessment. You can see, for instance, I've assigned it to 3 students. I can see here Brent has not started the assessment yet. And I can see that Jody is progressing through, but she's struggling. Again, the answers are: red is incorrect, green is correct, yellow is partial scoring. What I can also do, whether this is homework assignment or if I have assigned it as an assessment, I can look and see how the student is actually answering the questions in real time. So as I clicked into Annie, she still has a number of questions, but I can see how she's doing. I can see how long she took on the assessment. If Annie decided to show her student work, I can see how she answered things. I'm going to show you this a little bit more in a moment, but I can see the student work. I can provide feedback. That feedback she will see that after she submitted the entire assessment. If you're using some of our other products, Peer Deck or GoGuardian Teacher, for instance, and you're seeing things in real time and chatting, that might be a nice way to use the two combined. Whoops, I got out of my playlist, forgive me. And so again, all I did here was go to the assessment that I assigned and looked at the live class board. Like anything in Edulastic, you are still able to customize content. Now, I don't want to mislead you with the items that we've created for Spark Computer Science. You are not able to make changes to those actual questions. However, if you wanted to change the order of things, you could. If you wanted to bring in add some of your own YouTube videos that you've created to assign. It's a great way to assign and bring in other resources that you've assembled and easily send those out to your students. Speaking of students, I did say I would give you a quick look at the student experience. So I'm going to click over to Annie. Poor Annie, she gets a lot from me. So I'm logged in as Annie, and this is how Annie will see a student, a resource that has been assigned. So if it's to reinforce the learning or introduce a new concept that perhaps we can't do in class, I could do right here. I won't play that one for you. If you noticed earlier, Annie had just started the assessment. I'm letting her go back in to continue her work. She's on question 4, and she can easily bring over and answer the questions. Now, remember I talked about that check answer. I gave her the opportunity to check an answer, and that's right here. So I know that it is incorrect. If I move it and I check it again, she will not have another opportunity because I only gave her one chance. So that's that check answer piece. When I go to the next question, again, they still have the same features that they have available, cross out if need be. They still have that scratch pad, which again is how Annie can show her work. She can draw, she can type, she can use those math editor tools. She can even take a picture of her work and upload it at the question level. So what's great about computer science and what's great about the Spark Computer Science, and I think the Edulastic platform, is that it is a fun, engaging way to introduce these concepts and be able to still have that real-time feedback to better inform instruction and give you the course correction needed because of those differences with the easy, medium, and hard versions.